And we're just waiting at the moment for Michael Dunlop to come in, and here is Michael. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd welcome your top three in the Pokerstars Superbike TT. Third place, Cameron Donald. Second place, Michael Dunlop. And our winner, race winner, Ian Hutchinson. Well, first of all, let's have a word with our third place finisher, and it's Cameron Donald, the Australian. And Cameron, welcome back to the TT.
It's good to be back.
And a podium on your return. You had a slow start. Can you just explain what happened early on? A storming finish, though, to get on the podium.
Yeah, everything was going to plan on the first lap. I made a small error coming into the nook, and yeah, just went to tip in, locked up on me, and just my own fault, ran on, and probably could have turned around quite quickly, but I kept going down the new piece of bitumen thinking I could get out the other side, but it's blocked off, so I had to do a U-turn and come back. Got back on the road after Connor, and just thought, pitted, I was down 13th, I think, at one stage, but when I pitted, the boys said you're making up time, and I thought top 5 was possible, so to get third's great. I mean, I got to remind myself, this exact day 12 months ago, I was sitting in Nobles Hospital, so I thought racing might be over, so to get back here and get back on the podium is it's pretty sweet.
It's also, I know it's no consolation because you'd rather be 2 places further on and right in the middle here in the first place, but it's your first third place. You've had two wins and 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's my first third, and yep, rounded them out now. But no, it's really nice. Got a lot of people from back home over here, a lot of people from Suzuki Australia, and it's a special event for Suzuki this weekend, so it would be nice to give them a win, but we've still got the week to go, and it's good to start it with a podium anyway.
The speeds in practice have been absolutely amazing this week. Have there been any problems within the TAS Suzuki with the bikes there?
Not problems as such, just down to the old trick of just trying to get the bike perfect around here, which I don't think you'll ever do. I think we would have been better off if we just ran the race on Monday night, but I think most teams are probably saying the same thing. You tend to go around in circles chasing that perfect setup, but TT, you just got to get on and ride the bike.
Cameron Donald, congratulations on your third place in the Pokerstars Superbike TT. In second place, it's Michael Dunlop. Michael, welcome, first of all, to the 130 Club.
Yeah, it's something, you know what I mean, everybody's wished about, you know what I mean, and especially to do it around the Le Mans. If anything, I thought it was going to be the Ulster Grand Prix where we'd hit the 130, and, you know what I mean, to sit up here, you know, second. I'd love to be the top spot, obviously, you know, but you know, there's 2 factory teams sitting beside me, you know what I mean, and I'm in front of one of them, and you know, everybody says you need a factory bike. I would love to sit here and say you do, but you know, you don't. You need, you know, good lads, you know what I mean. With additional sponsor, Gareth Robertson, he put me under a fantastic bike. He worked his nuts off to get the bike right, and you know what I mean, he shipped engines. He's been shipping engines all week there, trying to get me the best he can get for me, and hopefully this has paid off for him.
Also, with you in practice, you've been flying on the Super Stock. You're top of the charts in both that and the Super Sport. But I know this one on the big bike means an awful lot to you.
Yeah, well, everybody said, you know, I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I'm only 21. You know, I wasn't ready. I hadn't done enough big bike experience, you know what I mean? But I knew in my own head, and I'm grateful my team knew that as well. And we just kept plugging away. Practice was very bad for us in the Superbike. We couldn't get it to handle. And, you know what I mean? I think, you know, you and the lads are all gobsmacked to see the bikes on the podium here, especially with the week we had with the handling. But you know what I mean, it just goes to show how a couple of clicks and turn the whole world right round.
Roy Moore got very excited at Ramsey Hairpin on lap 1. Seemed to be a bit of excitement between you and Guy Martin. And just talk us through the last lap, because there were 3 of you very, very close on the road.
Yeah, well, I was getting P2. Obviously, I knew something had happened, so I just kept plugging away, and then I knew Cameron was only the next boy in front of me, and he had passed me, so I says I'll stick with him. And you know, I mean, I was places I was quicker, I have to admit, and there's places Cameron was as well. And I says that I'd sat behind them for so long. I says, here, I'm not in for this, carry on. So I passed one of them up on the inside, up into the big fast right-hander at the end of Concrevada, and I just right, I'll sit in here now. And then the next minute, he was by me again down Solby, and then getting the Ginger Hull section there, it was just madness. You know what I mean? I just knew if I didn't get through, I wouldn't get through, so I went from third to beside another lad, and then before I knew it was in the side of the hedge, and like, I didn't care, you know what I mean, it didn't bother me, but I think it was touch and go for a few of the lads. I think they were maybe getting a little bit worried, you know.
See, there's quite a few flies around.
Yeah, well, it's good
looking
job.
At that all right helmet.
I know, well, to say, you know what I mean, it was dirty out there for the first lap. You know, there was a lot of slide, you know, but you know, I mean, that's the way we like it. You know, I mean, a few slides here and there keeps the heart going, you know, and we just kept our head down. And once I knew the back tyre was sliding, I knew I was doing some good lap times.
Ladies and gentlemen, second place, Michael Dunlop. And the winner of the Pokerstars Superbike TT is Ian Hutchinson. How does that sound, a Superbike win?
Yeah, good. It's been the one that I wanted, so it's nice to get it eventually.
What were your signals like? Because quite a lot of the action was happening behind you.
Yeah, from the start, obviously, Connor set a blistering pace, and I don't know if we've just been caught out a little bit with the temperature dropping so much, but all through Glen Helen and Cronky and Kurt Michaels freezing cold out there, and I was having some slides and just struggling a bit with the bike for the first couple of laps, and then when we came in for the pit stop and got the tyre changed, it felt back to normal again, and I just pushed real hard and took a couple of seconds here and there, and then we caught some back markers real early on lap 3. That cost a few again, and then took a few back again, and then came in for the pit and just sort of fingers crossed that we'd take a bit out of the pit, and I knew it was going to be right to the end, that I was going to have to push, but I was up for it, so, you know, it's just, I was up for it.
You seem to be, when Connor was leading, you seem to be gaining a little bit back going up the mountain.
Yeah, I was pushing hard in places where I felt good, and like I said, I had got my head down on the lap out from the pits, and after the first pit stop, and had a real good run through, and then caught two back markers on the road together through to Ramsey. It just cost me forever all the way through to Ramsey. There'd been 2 of them, but I knew at some point he'd have to, and all I could think that hopefully he caught them somewhere on the mountain, so I pushed really hard on the mountain to try to take a bit of time back out there, and I knew it was going to come right down to the end, you know, if he'd carried on, and it's always the same here, you know, anything can happen.
I bet about 15 months ago you're really pleased you made that bicycle ride to see Clive Paget.
Yeah, well, I had a bit of a wish list for Clive through the winter with the Superbike, and I asked for quite a few things changing on it, and you know, I won't feel very good if I never won for him. He's done everything that I asked, and you know, the bike's the best Superbike I've ridden. It feels amazing. You know, I've tried all week. I've put all the time into that bike, and I tried really hard with everything I could through winter, and trained really hard, done everything I can for it to work. So I would be more than disappointed if I hadn't won.
Just finally, you officially are a member of the 130 Club as well. I know you've done it in practice, but this is proper stuff now, official.
Yeah, to be honest, it never felt like 130s today. It was quite hard work out there, but you know, the cloud was low through Cronky and stuff. I came up there on lap 2 or 3 and couldn't even see it stopped, but you know, they kept it going, and I'm glad we could please all the fans in the end, and they all got something to watch.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 in the Pokerstars Superbike TT. In 3rd place, Cameron Donald. In 2nd place, Michael Dunlop. And your race winner, Ian Hutchinson.